Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I am Jesse Dollemore, host of the Dollemore Daily on YouTube and the podcast I Doubt It. Let's talk about Congress today. Let's talk about congressional committees specifically. Let's talk about the sacred duty and the work that could be being done by passing legislation to make the lives of Americans better and easier. That is not what's taking place. Republicans have wanted power for so long, they were willing to lie, steal, and cheat, as it were, to get it. And now that they're there, it's chaos 24/7. It is circus atmosphere 24/7. It's getting nothing done 24/7. Jim Jordan, and if you need any more evidence of what the statement I just made, Jim Jordan is the judiciary chairman in the House of Representatives. Jim Jordan. And Matt Gaetz, who's also a member of the Judiciary Committee, offered up an amendment today. And you can judge whether you think this is going to make your life better, more rich, easier. I'll let you be the judge. He offered up an amendment that they start every hearing of the Judiciary Committee in the House of Representatives by putting their hand in their heart and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. This was the important work of Congress today. At least many minutes were taken up by this debate. And rather than just go along with it, Democrats rightfully pushed back on this. And we're going to talk about that. But let me go off on a tangent here. Look, I served in the United States Marine Corps for many years. I don't understand the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't understand this attempted indoctrination of our children, of making them recite this thing. I know that you can opt out of it, but to swear allegiance to a piece of cloth, it's very weird to me. It's very strange to me. And for Congress people to be wasting taxpayer dollars trying to get an amendment that they start every session with the Pledge of Allegiance is just dereliction. It's insanity. And luckily, David Cicilline was there, a congressman from Rhode Island, to push back on this and offer his own amendment that if you participated in an insurrection or you're an insurrection apologist, you don't get to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Watch this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Issa just made reference to how important it is for us to display our commitment to the Constitution and to commit to defend it aggressively. So I'd like to offer an amendment to the amendment, adding in the second paragraph where the chair may designate an individual to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, to add the following language. Provided, however, the pledge shall not be led by an individual who supported an insurrection against the government of the United States in any way. Because I think if we adopt this amendment, then we will be truthful in representing that stating this pledge is an affirmation of your defense of democracy and the Constitution. It's hard to take that claim seriously if, in fact, an individual who in any way supported an insurrection against the government of the United States is allowed to lead the pledge. So I would ask Mr. Gaetz to accept this friendly amendment, and I look forward to supporting it.
Would the gentleman yield for
I first ask Mr. Gaetz if he'll support the amendment, to make sure that someone who led an insurrection against the United States doesn't make a mockery of the Pledge of Allegiance and stand before this committee with their hand over their heart claiming to support the Constitution.
Mr. Cicilline, my concern would be if your definition of an insurrection is objecting to electors, then there would be many Democrats on the committee that wouldn't be eligible to lead the pledge, since so many
That's
objected.
not my definition of an insurrection.
The last Republican president to get sworn in absent Democrat objectors was George Herbert Walker Bush.
Claiming my time, Mr. Gaetz, I will allow the chairman to determine whether or not someone has participated in insurrection in the United States. I think this language is important.
Would the gentleman further yield?
I'm asking Mr. Gaetz, will you now accept the amendment?
Well, I'm concerned that you may be disqualifying too many of your own members, Mr. Cicilline.
I'm not concerned about that at all. Then agree to the amendment. Let's make this real. If you want to give someone the right to stand before the House Judiciary Committee and lead the Pledge of Allegiance, at a bare minimum, let's guarantee that that person has not participated or supported or in any way helped an overthrow of the government of the United States.
Would the gentleman
It's like
yield?
a simple proposition.
Now, this is a giant waste of time. I've previously stated that. I still think that. But making the point is good. Making the point that David Cicilline is making here is a noble cause, because we need to point out hypocrisy where we see it, and especially in Congress we do. And that's a full-time job when you have Republicans in leadership. To support those who attempted to overthrow the United States government by way of force, by trying to delay the certification, by violating the Constitution, by delaying a constitutionally mandated certification of electoral voters. It flies in the face of this respect for the Constitution. You see a lot of these goofballs who carry around in their pocket a little pamphlet that's the Constitution, and they wave it around. And they act like they're noble patriots. Don't tread on me, they say. Yet they full-throatedly, some with fists in the air in solidarity, like Josh Hawley, supported the insurrection against the United States. They knew what was taking place, and they supported it. So it's hypocrisy run amok for Matt Gaetz, of all people, to ask that they recite the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of our country as some masturbatory patriotism, because that's what this is. They've watched their dear leader literally hug and kiss the flag, and they believe that's the path to enlightenment. It's all just gross. But what would you expect when you got Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan in the mix?
One of our sponsors today is Zippix Nicotine Toothpicks. Zippix brings you a convenient alternative to smoking and vaping, and the vape clouds, the ashtrays, the thing in your lip that people can see. I've seen that around. This is an easier and less messy way to curb the cravings, and you can use Zippix just about anywhere. Zippix is available in 6 flavors with 2 or 3 milligram strength. The nicotine and the flavor are long-lasting, and Zippix has helped countless people kick the bad habits, and they are bad habits. Zippix toothpicks are FDA registered. Their customer service is second to none. It is one of the most cost-effective alternatives. Also, check out their B12 and caffeine toothpicks. See for yourself why so many people have switched to Zippix toothpicks. You can only get Zippix online. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com and get 10% off with the code PACMAN. The link is down below.